Welcome to November. It's a mog or get mogged world. This is your yummy update. Friends, I've got a very yummy update coming from none other than South Park making an episode on JPEG coins. So actually, friends, I'll give you some snippets of it as well. I just saw it right now. Apparently it came in like a day or two. I think it's like maybe the Halloween episode.
Stan, what are we doing?
What do you mean, dude? We're trying to change things.
By selling cryptocurrency?
What's wrong with trying to make a little money while also pointing out the things wrong with our town?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I have to do something, Kyle. I'm 9 years old and I live in a retirement home.
And you really think crypto is your way out? Do you even know anything about how that stuff works?
Well, actually, we have a really strong crypto advisor. Your cousin on the East Coast.
My cousin? I'm big!
So actually, friends, he's got the cute little charts and stuff out here. And they talk about making a crypto. And they say, oh, yeah, like, you don't really believe in it, do you? And they're always making fun of it and everything out here throughout the episode. So, is it a signal of sorts? Making fun of the JPEG casino and kids just pumping and dumping and grifting everyone? That's pretty much what they kind of imply. But, yeah, it is South Park poking fun. I want to remind you something, though. Everything they say about crypto, it's the same thing with stocks. Okay, like, oh yeah, you think you just put your money in this electronic thing and you can just do better? Yes. Do you understand how the money system works? They literally print money out of thin air. You know? They could just make a whole episode. Oh, you think currency just gets printed, like, made out of thin air, like conjured up? Yes. What do you mean think? Do you understand how the financial system works? They literally go and they push a button. All the insider banks spread the money through the Cantillon effect. They get the printed money first. It seeps into the economy. One of the big bank executives, I think it was maybe Citibug or Morgan Stanley. Okay, Morgan Soybeans. In 2008, one of the guy's wives, when everything dropped like 70% back in the GFC, funny when Bitcoin was made, the guy's wife got a $200 million loan and it was guaranteed by the US Fed. What did she do with that $200 million loan at near 0% interest rates? She went and bought government bonds. She went and bought assets like real estate at like a huge discount. She went and bought like stocks, got the dividends, yeah? And she's basically buying government bonds and stuff as well with a lot of that money for free. Did you get that 0% loan? Nope. Yeah. Maybe it was like 1%. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But that's crazy, right? All these special deals. She got the printed money first, and then she gets to spend it. She pushes up the price. And then later on, when they do QT and they think about lowering the mortgage rates and stuff out here, finally retail get to spend the money later on. That's how the whole money system works. But yeah, let me know what you think, Fez. Do you think it's kind of like a top signal for JPEG coins? The trenches will never die, just like DeFi never died. But it's significantly destroyed compared to 2020. You were getting like 500% APY for farms and stuff. Now you get nowhere near it. Now everyone knows the game of DeFi. It's dump the Ponzi yield, the token is trash, and move along. Check this out as well, friends. This is a Bitcoin dominance chart. Thank you to the baby doll out there who made it. This is just showing, he's just got some astrology squiggle lines. He's showing like, basically in last cycle, we had this heads and shoulders which appeared, and then when it finally cracked down, old season obviously smashed on through. Okay, now 2021 was a dud cycle because this was old season wave 1 and this was old season wave 2. I'll actually just show you. See this, friends? Actually, I'll make a little circle here. See this little piece of trash? This was old season wave 2. That's why we had nothing pretty much. This part, I guess, was like just getting started, you know. And look, this part was garbage as well. That old season wave. It looks amazing now. Back then, it was actually trash because in 2017 everything did a 100x. Actually, everything did a 300x from 2015 to 2017. But the bulk of the move was about 100x. I mean, XRP itself did a 650x in the 1 year, for example. So everyone was expecting around the 100x again. They go, oh, everything does 100x. You just need to put in $300 in crypto and it turns into like, you know, $100,000 or whatever. That's what everyone's prevailing thinking. And then what actually happened was, everyone's expected E was about 100x. Actually, if you spoke to most people, they were happy with more like, even like a 50. Okay. But actually, what was the reality? It was about 10x. Okay. You see this giant discrepancy? You were down 80 to 90% from everyone's expectations. So everyone's expecting 50 to 100. You only got 10. And then it literally top ticked 10 for the others, pretty much everything. And then it dropped 75%. So it didn't stay 10x. And then you think about it for 5 months and go, should I get out? No. It top ticks it. And then 30 to 60 days later, trying to ban Bitcoin, bang, you're down 75%. Yeah, it was actually less than that. It was actually more like 20 days later. That's how cruel it was, man. That's why it's been a 5-year round trip. Now, he believes, or we hope, that we are seeing a similar heads and shoulders pattern here forming as well. And we hopefully roll over and we have the same thing as well. We're just doing astrology out here, okay? Remember, Bitcoin dominance is below the 10-period moving average. That's on the monthly, which is pretty cool. But this is just showing you the pain. I show this to you in Juicy News. This is Bitcoin orange to orange. It's 2x above its all-time high. And then you have altcoins, which are still down 90% from their 2021 highs. And they're still, look at this, look how bad this is, Fed. They are back down to their literal FTX lows. That's how horrific this is, man. Jesus, what a freaking cruel, cruel punishment. But that's what happens, right? You know, the Fed's doing QT, the business, that's it. The business cycle's still garbage, you know. Thank you to Dick with Butt Army as well. Surely the profits from TradFi are going to roll in at some point. Here we have Aaron. Here we have him. Let's see what Aaron says today. Are you enjoying the biggest regret of the last 4 years of your life? I know I am. That's great. You Ubernik, brother, you have turned bearish. What part of this is bearish, bro? Listen. Most altcoins are still at the 2022 bear market lows. Lows means cheap. Lows means like risk a little and make a lot. Like you technically can't be more bullish than from the low. And then I've written Fed QT ends now though. That's quantitative tightening. It's ended. Right? But see, what the truth is, what happens is, because things have been down so bad, everything looks bearish. However, on the tops, let's go back and let's go through, like when OTHERS-btc is cranking, okay, this was the big alt season what we're referring to back up here, right? When everything is cranking, everything looks bullish. Everything. Token unlocks, bullish. Trump says he's going to ban crypto. Oh, that's bullish. Anything anyone says, bullish. Everything's bullish because the prices are up. Okay, price moves first, sentiment follows after. Sentiment, story, narrative, whatever. Yeah. so it doesn't matter. Like people's interpretations. Like I could just tell you right now. Oh, look at this. Altcoins, friends, where like 2 red monthly candles in a row. Yeah, everything's just going to look trash. You know, as soon as there's 2 green monthly candles in a row, hopefully just 1. It's like, oh, I'm optimistic about the future again. That's how it all changes. Elon Musk has replied to Sam Altman, founder of OpenAI. He goes, a tale in 3 acts. So he's actually talking about Tesla here. He's got a red Tesla here. I'm not even sure what he's trolling. And then Elon Musk replies, you stole a non-profit. And you forgot to mention Act 4, where this issue was fixed and you received a refund within 24 hours. But that is in your nature. Ooh, Elon, man. So he actually ordered the car and it got fixed and we fixed it for him, but he's just out there to complain. Damn. I'll always have a soft spot for Elon, friends. You know, it could be deep statey stuff, but like they do let us communicate on Twitter, you know. I know, yeah, there's a bit of, you know, Israel and the ice cream cabal where, you know, they do ban stuff. You can't talk about some Israel things out here. But you know what? The other 99.99% stuff, I'm glad you can do it. You can't do it on YouTube. You can't. You literally can't. So how long is that going to be for? UFO skeptics be like, that dice just rolled a 6 about 58 times in a row. Probably nothing to see here. So remember, friends, going through all these things, it's taught me not only just to question a lot of things, but, you know, we've witnessed a lot of things that we just thought was totally impossible. It's possible. A lot of things are not just science and physics stuff, but I mean, like, look at Zcash, friends. I mean, I got to show you this chart again, dude. What I never expected. No one expected this, dude. What the hell? What the hell? I hope that's coming for our other altcoins, man. You know, I really do. And remember, you only got that chart because the long base. Everybody had sold their supply to go buy other stuff that they thought was more relevant. And now all of their supply is gone. Bullish alert. James Wynn has added to his 40x leverage Bitcoin short. Now he is short $910,000 worth. His total P&L is minus 23 million. So he's making it back. Yeah, he's added to his short, friends. I mean, a lot of you they're questioning what's James Wynn actually doing. You have like Bluey Bear. James Wynn is an industry plant. We shouldn't even mention his name. It's starting to sound like influencers are handed talking points. Just to explain to you, who keeps giving this more on Murray, JT? A lot of people, when it was popular, when he had the 100 million, okay, they're like, oh, I'm going to follow this guy. I'm part of him. He's probably going to open up a group, right? I'm going to subscribe to him. Then they followed him. He's literally top tick his P&L. They went down, but they're just, I guess, still trading of it, and he makes referral rewards, right? It's just people basically losing, and they make a bit of the commission money or whatever. Now, remember, James Wynn fans, just to explain for you, look, I don't know who he is. I don't know all the answers, but we've heard him talk, and look, from what I gather, look, friends, I'm just telling you, he's a retailer with trade. He's a retailer trader, dude. I've been in the game. Okay, trust me. I just know there's no conspiracy. That's just how retailers trade. It's just you can't believe someone could have that much money and trade like you. You know what I mean? You just couldn't believe it. But yes, he didn't make his money from leverage trading. Okay, it's like watching, friends, a world famous heart surgeon who's got his own practice making like, $15 million a year. Imagine like you're watching him trade. And he's like got 300 grand on a Bitcoin leverage short, and then he gets, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing. It's not his skill set. But also, James Wynn, he's got like 400, 500,000 followers now. He's trying to get to 1 million. He's trying to become a big KOL. So he keeps playing into the Crypto Crappo thing. When Crypto Crappo gets embarrassed, he walks away. So that's how you can kind of tell maybe Crypto Crappo is a bit older. Maybe he's in his like 40s or 50s. Maybe he's a Generation Xer. He doesn't know how to play into that younger spirit and fight back at people. Crypto Crappo, right? But James Wynn, now he's doing the big arrows going down. When James Wynn gets things wrong, he's just like in total delusional mode, calls himself great and comes back in. So he's like a character, you understand? And he keeps feeding into it. He's trying to get more followers and get more engagement. He's trying to do that. Now, obviously, a lot of people are wondering, hey, why would you do that? If you had all that money, yada, yada, yada. And that's why I'm thinking. Maybe he doesn't have all that money anymore. He got crushed, right? Lost 13 and 15 million. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out, but that's how pretty much it's working out. And look, someone's going to have to put on the short. I showed this to his earlier friends. Trading expert Willy Woo says Bitcoin could drop to 16K in the worst case scenario crash. And I've written, Willy Woo dares to enter the words Bitcoin to 16K. Perhaps this is climbing the wall of worry. Bull markets grow on skepticism and doubt. Remember, they're born on depression. They grow on the skepticism and FUD, climbing the wall of worry. Oh, 4-year cycle. Oh no, it's over. Oh no, up and down. Oh no. It's kind of funny, right? Like the US Fed just ended QT, no one's buying. And people think that's bearish. They go, oh, not even good news can make us go up. No, dude, you understand? That's climbing the skepticism part. It's just planted in the middle of the cycle, right? You might see at the very, very end, top of Euphoria, the US Fed says, we're actually going to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And then Bitcoin goes freaking parabolic. I'll just pray. I pray to God we get that as a top signal. Oh my God. Can you just imagine Bitcoin's at like 220K and then US Fed says in their announcement, look, we might add Bitcoin to the balance sheet at some point. Just imagine they just utter those words and then Bitcoin does like a monthly candle plus 80%. And then I have to come out and be like, well, it doesn't get any better than this, does it? We've got everybody now in. You have the weakest of the weekend now in. Someone who literally needed major losers legacy. Maybe it won't be major loser by that point. Maybe it'll be a major winner. Maybe Jerome Powell. Maybe, hey, now that I think about it, we might actually get the US Fed saying that, not buying it, actually saying that. Because if Donald Trump's going to install someone, he's going to install a puppet, you'd think. And the puppet might be like, you know what? We're thinking of buying it. Bitcoin's cool, right? Just to pump up Trump's bag. And we might get that 80% flush up. Yeah. And I can just... Look, friends, do you remember when Donald Pump, when he launched his meme coin, right? I made a video here. Okay, where was it? It was right here. It was literally right here. I made a video. I go, look, I'm not saying it's over, but because you never know, right? I'm saying, look, we have a maximum amount of euphoric good news now. Okay, the US president just launched a meme coin on the chain. Okay, it's literally, you can't top this. It's literally so much euphoria, and everyone says it's just getting started. We're like, no, like these big explosive moves come at the end. Okay, that's what I'm hoping we see a similar path of that type of euphoria for us at the end. Okay, where, you know, can you just imagine? We got to manifest that. If Major loses replacement, who becomes a major winner, he actually just utters the words, because they don't need to buy it. That's the thing. People will buy trying to front run the Fed, but then like it's priced in by that point. Okay, but that's why no one's gonna like exit, because that person buying at say 250k BTC on like a plus 80% monthly candle, whatever at the end, they don't want to get out. They're like, wait, you just finally convinced me to get in. Remind you of anyone? Gold. Does it remind you of anyone, friends? If I bring you out gold here as well, okay? Does it remind you of like, you know, okay, you finally convinced me to get in. Friends, who are these retailers getting into gold here? Who are they? I'll tell you who they are. People who wanted to buy, but they just read that central banks are buying up gold, and they're going to keep printing and they're going to keep buying. It's your infinite wealth hack. Russia and China keep buying the gold. It's not retailers, you know, because they're listening to Peter Schiff, who's saying gold's gone to 6,000. No retailers are buying this. You're definitely not exit liquidity. It's central banks buying. Look at the data. We can see all the data. Yeah. The data's good, friends. Of course, it's great. Keeps you long-term bullish and stuff out here. But when the unicorn indicator appears, like literally retail lining up to buy, that is the ultimate indicator. But everybody's so like, they're D's in the headlights. They just refuse to take it because you can't believe it's over. That's why you never know, man. Maybe they list a literal crypto 20 index. The top 20 crypto altcoins, we actually get listed on the NASDAQ or something. They actually give us a freaking index. Come on, baby. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.